piece of advice you would give to a Prime Minister?
To our Prime Minister? I had to go around to 60 shops on a cycle and sell cigarettes and come back.
Favorite film heroine?
Favorite film heroine, oh my God.
Cricket or football? IT Madras or IIM Bangalore? Coming to your career, right? So let's start with what your Bangalore placement was.
Well, I got placed with ITC.
Okay.
ITC was not the most preferred company. I was into finance and I probably would have navigated to consulting.
Right.
I interviewed with everybody and I had kind of McKinsey, BCG, I think there was a company called Capital One, a bunch of banks, all of them. And I bungled something like 25 interviews in 24 hours. And so I was just not switched on. Every time I do mock interviews and give Gyan, I think about that. So I don't interview that well.
Right.
And it came out rather clearly in that place. It's an artificial setting.
Right, of course. It's very contract.
And I didn't do well there.
Right.
But ITC was lovely. I didn't think I was a marketing guy. I was as far away from marketing as I could think I was. But I took my sales job. ITC was wonderful. They were wonderful employers. I worked in UP. I was in charge of one part of Eastern Uttar Pradesh.
So this was a sales role?
Sales role. Okay. Out and out sales role. No fancy marketing and advertising and anything. My first 3 days, I was posted to this place called Basti.
Right.
It's a really small town in UP. And I had to go around to 60 shops on a cycle and sell cigarettes and come back. So ITC has a beautiful training program. So I had to go do that and collect money and all of that. And this is proper UP. Lovely experience. I took to it. I rather enjoyed myself. A beautiful job, wonderful place. I spent 6 months. Most of the time I was in this place called Shahjahanpur, not Lucknow. My base was Lucknow. I used to come back to Lucknow. 3 of us based out of Lucknow, but he would travel. Shahjahanpur, the wholesale dealer, is a fantastic guy. I had a blast.
Amazing. And then what was the switch after?
My training thing ended about 6-7 months.
Right.
I got a couple of skirmishes with not HR. Not really. I was posted to Orissa.
Okay.
So UP, so there are about 22, 24 or whatever number of circles.
Right.
And UP, Bihar, Guwahati, Orissa are the less preferred ones.
Right.
And I was in one of those 4. And then I was posted in one more of those 4.
Okay.
And I had done rather well.
Okay.
I was an example trainee. Right. I liked it. I liked my job.
Right.
My other 2 guys, I spent enormous amount of time cracking the systems in my office.
Right.
So from my branch manager to the guy, everyone would be like, look, this operations issue is there, this chart is not there. Call the guy, he's maybe in Shahjahanpur, ask him to come here and fix it. So I was the go-to guy for a bunch of systems and tech in my office.
Right.
Because it was ops, really got ops.
Okay.
I knew my branch manager, my reporting manager, they were all thrilled with me. They asked me a bunch of times, are you happy? Are you happy? Yes. Are you enjoying the sales? I said yes. And they'd be like, you were in UP. How was that? Like, super.
Okay.
And HR works with large corporates. Works with 2 objectives. One is they need to find the better guys and reward them. And 2 is they need to find guys who may quit and give them juicy things.
Right.
And in my infinite naivety, I communicated that, look, I love my job and I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Which they saw it and said, look, he's not going anywhere, stick him in another place, we'll take care of him a year later.
Right.
Pissed me off. No, I didn't even realize that would piss me off so much.
Right.
It did. So I was posted to be in Orissa, my department was my branch headquarters was like that. I had interviewed with some random guy because for some referral, he said, look, I want to do an interview. And I interviewed with him with no idea of quitting.
Right.
But he had given me an offer. Back then the KPO sector in India was nascent.
Booming, yes. Correct.
It was just coming through. I had a spectacular CV, right? This is the letters that the West knows.
Right.
I had them in my CV.
Right. Of course.
It was easy to place me in any bank.
Correct.
So these guys were, at one point, they needed the guys to do the work, and they needed the CVs to carry the weight.
Right.
And they knew that I could do both, so it was an easy win for them.
Okay.
And it was in Chennai, so I was ready to drop at a 20% pay hike. They gave me a pay cut. Because I was like, okay, I'm going to come here, this is what I want to do. I'm not going anywhere there, I'll come back here. They gave me a 20% hike. So a company called IIM, which is back office for investment banks in London and New York.
Okay.
So the big clients were, I think, Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank.
Right.
And I was with the Credit Suisse team.
Okay.
So it was an easy decision because of that. I didn't work for even a single day in Odisha. I came there and I quit.
Nice. So you moved to that's how the investment banking journey started. And then you stayed with that company and moved.
I worked with IIM for about 18 months.
Okay.
Throughout with Credit Suisse, I was there, appointment here.
Right.
And then Credit Suisse said, look, you come over. And I was like, look, I was super reluctant to go join the mainstream thing.
Okay.
Stupidly. If you're there in banking, you really want to do it, you have to be in the front office.
Right.
I shouldn't choose to be in the back office.
Right.
But I didn't want to. I had a bunch of friends that I was goofing off and I didn't want to not have it.
Right.
So I tried my best to not get the most sought after investment banking job, which I didn't get. I got.
Right.
And I shift.
Okay. And that was which location was that?
London. I was in London.
Oh, you moved to London. Okay. And then how long were you there?
For 4 years I was in London.
4 years.
With Credit Suisse, I was in the equity research department.
Right.
I did modestly well, reasonably well. It's the first 2 years, year and a half, 2 years the flunky. You run the models and make sure the data is correct, make sure the report is published.
Right.
A lot of the West, the way they are built, their skill sets are particularly tuned, spectacularly good for the meaty 30-year part of their career.
Okay.
For them, the number part is something that you struggle through, and then you understand the industry, speak to clients, understand what they are about and all that. But I had a massive advantage in the first year and a half thing.
Okay.
So looking at Excel sheets, making them move and doing valuation and doing numbers, just patently not rocket science. So I was easily a very happy guy doing the background. So the guys who worked, with whom I worked, they needed a flunky to do all the charting and graphing, and they needed to not worry about the numbers so that they could do the thing. So I was the dream associate to work with.
Okay.
I was not grumpy. I was not saying, look, give me the real deal. Because I didn't understand that was a real deal.
Right.
And I was not chomping at the bits to be the lead analyst.
Right.
I was quite happy doing this. And I would have done it for another couple of years.
Okay.
And they were, so I was the guy, right? I'm very efficient in this, not ambitious enough to ask for that. So,
right.
And they could have done the good thing.
Yeah.
It so happened that I was in a team of 3, with the lead analyst, a second analyst, and the flunky. The lead analyst quit.
Okay.
And the second analyst became the lead analyst.
Right.
And I became number 2 because we couldn't find a number 2.
Okay.
And then we found a number 3.
Right.
Suddenly I was number 2. And then into the recession, the lead analyst quit.
Right.
So I became the lead analyst in a sector.
Right.
After a hiring freeze had been announced.
So this was 2008,
2007.
Okay, 7, 8, yeah.
And because I was there, they tried to hire.
Right.
And they called me in to say, who do you like? Who do you think we should hire? They had informal discussion.
Yeah.
I said, these guys are good and all that. I was fully expecting to work as a number 2 with somebody.
Yeah.
But it so happened that I inherited the sector. That's probably the youngest guy who was a lead analyst in Europe or that sector. Not a fancy thing.
Nice. Yeah.
There's a phrase called dead man shoes. You get the other job if that guy dies or he quits or retires. So I got those shoes twice over.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's by no part due to me that I became the analyst.
Okay.
And then by that time I was bored of my job and industry and all of that.
Right. Because and this, I mean, you were bored of it because of the role change that happened from.
No. The role part was exciting. That's the normal trajectory.
Right.
I'm getting an accelerated one because of that. The industry is slightly hollow, at least in my eyes. They do a ton of stuff which is patently non-fancy. It's a coterie of some amount of inside information. You know the right jargon, you know the right terms. You mix in the right places and you go places. And increasingly, it is more about that than finding some genius number thing or finding a brilliant trading strategy. It's like know the things, know the right people, know how to play the game, you're good to go.
Okay.
And I was getting to know to play the game, and I was beginning to enjoy that. And I was scared that I was beginning to enjoy that.
Okay. Right.
That was my job, the requirement part of it. There is an element of the thrill of being in trading, and I simply didn't have it.
Okay.
I was a lead analyst and I would not look at my stock portfolio more than once a week. I was not looking at a dashboard. I know people who are investors who look at their portfolio every 6 hours, every 8 hours.
Right.
I was in investment banking directly worrying about stocks, and I wouldn't worry about stock prices on a day-to-day basis at all.
Okay.
So I didn't have that thrill of the trade thing at all.
Right.
So those, and I didn't like it's a snooty industry.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's an industry where you pride yourself on being in the top decile of intellectual ability, whatever not, and how you know the right people, how you what is your P&L and what kind of thing you work with. And one Bear Stearns and Lehman happened. It was like, look, dude, we're not all this.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it was humbling.
Yeah. Which I think the industry needed at that point.
Correct. The lifestyle is fantastic, actually. And the place is good. I never had an appreciation of London when I was there.
Right.
It was a rather beautiful place. It stands for some of the right things. Obviously, there are flaws and pluses and minuses.
Of course.
I came to understand and appreciate that far later.
Okay.
My family loves the place.
Yeah.
My wife loves the place. So it was I decided to leave London in a hurry.
Okay.
I didn't like it and then flipped and we'll come back.
Right.
Which is probably definitely not the best decision for me at that point of time.
Okay.
And one of the regrets I carry.
Right.
Maybe I should have timed my shift better or planned my life out a little better.
Right.
Which I didn't.
Okay.
So that is that.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So then you left investment banking. You came back to India, and then there was a complete.
I worked for about 6 months in a bank in India. A small boutique firm in Chennai, not a bank. Which just banking.
Right.
But I was sure I was going to get out of the industry.
Okay.
And I spoke with Bhaskar, who was running Ascent Education.
Right.
And I said, look, I'm going to do, you can come, you can take classes. No, I want to do it full time.
Right.
And he said, look, no, that's the last thing you should be doing.
Right.
Go do something else, but not this.
Yeah.
He actively dissuaded me from jumping in.
Hold on a second. So you wanted to leave investment banking and you wanted to sort of switch to teaching.
Yeah.
And then where did teaching come from?
I've always been teaching from 2001, 2, 3. 2003 is when I finished my MBA.
Right.
When I came back in IIM, I used to be taking classes for CAT.
Okay.
I've always been teaching kind of throughout my life. From when I was in class 6, I would go to tuitions and I would be in the science tuition and be running math tuition on the side. So I was always happy. I got my clarity by explaining to people.
Right.
So it was rather good. I used to sit down and enjoy the idea of breaking ideas down and telling people.
Right.
I did it through my MBA. So I was a happy teacher.
Yeah.
I used to run the worst timing batches for CAT coaching in Chennai. Because my office used to start at 9.
Right.
And I was an early riser. So the CAT batch would happen from 6 to 8. I was finished at grab breakfast and be the first one to my office. Everybody else would troop in by 11. I would have to kind of nudge the watchman to open the door.
Right.
But I was very happy teaching.
Okay.
So that is one constant that has been there.
Okay. So that's been a theme from childhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was easy. That was not the part that was difficult. Learning to teach was not a
right.
But doing it full time, doing it as a career thing, as something that has to pay your bills. Ill thought out, not thought through at all.
Right.
One of those things which is when the people tell you, don't make your passion your career.
Job,
probably built for me and I ignored it.
Right.
So I jumped in and against well-intentioned sound advice, rather deeply from Bhaskar.
Yeah.
He still holds it against me to this day. You had your chance. I told you and you blew it.
Right. He didn't want you to take up for teaching full time.
Okay. I said, look, this is not what you should be doing.
Right.
You teach for fun, but this is not what you should be doing.
Right.
So, again, another not so well thought out decision, not a great decision.
Right.
Which happened.
Okay. So you started teaching, then
I started or jumped onto 2IIM CAT coaching thing in 2010.
Okay.
Take a ton of classes.
And this was full time. You did it full time.
I did it full time.
You did it full time. Okay. Right.
So I did lots of classes for GMAT, GRE, and a few classes for CAT because we were just restarting CAT.
Right.
And we didn't see. I shouldn't say we didn't see profits.
Right.
We didn't see revenues.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So I'd taken
just slightly worse.
a pay cut of 80% for my investment banking job to my Indian investment banking job.
Right.
And I took something like another 90% pay cut from that job to my. With my pay packet.
And this you did at the age of like
28, 29.
Okay. Typically, this would happen like at a midlife crisis. Clearly, the midlife crisis came much earlier for you. Okay, all right.
So 2010 is when we began this, and we had our business model all ulta. We weren't out there in colleges marketing.
Yeah.
We weren't building with a vision for other products. I like taking classes. I said, look, I'll put it on the website, people will come.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when people didn't come, I was surprised. So stuff happened. The GMAT business was going rather well.
Okay.
So in many ways, in the first 2-3 years, the GMAT business bailed out the CAT business.
Right.
We would have folded like a pack of cards in 24 months if we didn't have a roof over our head. So playing for the centers and counselors and
and of course this was completely offline.
It was completely
that huge overhead of real estate and all of that comes in. Okay.
So 2010 to 2014 were the wilderness years.
When
we didn't make money, we didn't know what we were doing.
Okay.
We didn't know that we didn't know what we were doing. It was rather bad.
Right. Interesting. Very nice. Okay. Now you've cracked CAT. Of course, first time you didn't get a score, but after that, fortunately for 2IIM, you did get scores. Of course, you give CAT every year. You've gotten 100 percentile 4 times, right? What's the secret behind this?
See, in many ways, better. People say prepare for CAT for 6 months, 5 months, and 8 months, and 12 months. In some sense, I've been preparing for CAT for 20 years. So or longer.
Right.
2000 is when I prepared for CAT.
Right.
In some ways, my JE preparation laid the groundwork for CAT.
Of course, yeah.
I became happy reading somewhere through my college days.
Right.
During my banking days, I used to read and write for 4-5 hours per day. That's my job.
Okay. Right.
So I read tons of stuff and write.
So you got conditioned for
reading and writing. So in one way, it's like an exam completely geared. I'm saying, look, does this really work for Rajesh? Yes, it does. Let's add that into the syllabus. So it is read.
So it plays to your natural skills. Okay.
To my strength throughout.
Okay.
And I am in the job, right? I'm doing questions and so on.
Right.
So it is completely rigged.
Right.
Like that. So the only thing I need to be super clear about is to get geared up for the day. And know what that game is. But otherwise, I'm preparing practically for CAT throughout. It's super advantage to have.
Okay.
Probably it helped that I don't have the stress of having to crack the exam.
Of course. Okay.
Again, I know it seems cruel to have to hear this.
Right. Yeah.
But hey, that's what it is.
Okay. Being honest about it. All right. Now, before we go to the fun segment, the last sort of serious question: what's next in your career?
The CAT thing is a thing. We are finding some love across the board. In Chennai, in classroom, in live online, in our products. We built a compelling product. Some few things I'm super proud of in my life, and the CAT product is up there.
Right.
So I think at the crux of it, it's a wonderful learning experience.
Yeah.
You sign up for it, and you can say, look, I'm going to be in this room for 3 months. You'll come off super powerful.
Right.
For the end of it. I know I have not built it. A bunch of people have jumped in a ton of things, but I'm proud of it.
Right.
And it's very difficult for kind of my temperament guy to say this product is nice.
Right.
We are teachers, right? We always feel like, look, I need to do this more. That one thing is missing. That proof I have not added. This doesn't have this. But it's all right. It's all right. It's all that, and we've taken the hard route to carve a niche for ourselves. We could run several of our marketing things differently, but we are now finding some amount of niche for ourselves.
Right.
People like what we do. We are very by and large honest, ethical about what we do. We're approachable. We're fun. People like us more than they want. And I pinch myself to know that, hey, this is indeed happening. This is nice. So it's a sweet spot to have. So I definitely want to carve our own niche and not let it be a niche.
Right.
I want it to be bigger than a niche. I don't want to have to use the word niche to describe where we're at. That is definitely a thing.
Okay.
My long-standing passion is to build a course for school kids. I want to teach math rather differently, and very intuitively. Build framework by brain at an extraordinarily high level of difficulty and what they are going for. So we've had this company called Pivo, which has been running for the last 4-5 years now. In many ways, 2IIM has provided cover for Pivo. So we don't work under pressure to meet our bills, pay our bills. We don't dilute what we are about ideologically or principally on that content. So that's getting built in its own nice space. At some point of time, we want to make it into a more compelling commercial offering. Right now, it's an intellectual exercise. Which is tough. Which is the labor of love. It's like pet project. So it's like some people spend 6 years writing a novel. So in my mind, it's something like that. So we've tried it. We've launched it. We've had people. We've got responses. We're fine tuning it. But the medium term, long term thing is stuck. What we do with that. But not in any hurry.
Right.
I'm really enjoying the part that I'm not in any hurry about it. We always build content and build product with the timeline hanging over. For 2IIM we do. Like right now, if we finish this conversation, next 3 months are going to be about launching 15 mocks. New ones.
Yeah.
And we always want to tweak and change and be available for a market and deliver to that demand. So this is quite the opposite of that. I don't want to deliver to a market. So I'm enjoying that. That's my get out of jail card.
Right.
So I walk down, I go there, I hide there.
Nice.
But that is there.
Okay. What about in one of the YouTube AMAs you mentioned something to do with your political aspirations? I noticed that stayed with me. I've never gotten a chance to clarify that with you. But what's up with that? What are these political aspirations? I don't know. I'm really scary about this.
It is one of those. You ask a 10-year-old, they're going to say, "Look, I want to be a pilot."
Oh, okay. It's one of those things.
I want to do a PhD in economics and become a professor.
Okay.
I want to learn math more seriously.
Right.
Every now and then I feel like, look, is there a second innings from here on, or a third innings or a fourth inning? I know I'm a content builder.
Right.
I know I'm a teacher. I might be a business runner, an entrepreneur, but I'm a content builder. That's where I'm happy, and that's probably where maximum amount of competitive advantage I have.
Okay.
I think you can find a million better business runners than me in terms of running the business, understanding what it is, handling people, all of that. And there are thousands of better teachers than I am. But in content building, I'm super anal, super particular. I look at the flow. I have a sense of what the overall thing is.
Nice.
So I want to be associated with that.
Okay.
Impact in education comes at a broader level, 90% with policy, and then with people, and then with content.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes the policy guys have to have a content angle to them.
Okay.
If ever there is a chance where I can be bring the content element for policy, I'll jump. In fact, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, there was a bunch of executive positions in the government sector where you had to apply for a role of an equivalent of digital czar for education policy of the state and country. So, like the short service commission for the military, there was a 3-year, 5-year stint available for individuals to jump in and say, hey, you can fulfill a 3-year government contract. You don't get paid much. You will get paid a lot of more money, but not fancy banking. You get good government salary.
Right.
And then you get a rank and a cadre where it's a meaningful position.
Right.
Where you can say, look, I'm going to take a 3-year break from my private sector career and come back and attack this. Unfortunately for me, it came at a time where we were finding some love in both 2IIM and Python. So it was too much to just give up and jump on. But if that happens 6 years, 8 years from now, I think I'll have a conversation with you and say, look, take a break and say, this is what I want to do. But that is something that I'm I think the French do it brilliantly. The French interaction between politics, bureaucracy and private sector is rather good. It's almost like the French government will tap a CEO and then say, 12 months from now, I want you to be running this. And then the CEO will create a succession training thing and then come there. The industry guys doing policy and implementation and having a longer term national vision. This is an important part of the French fabric. And I think I'm not savvy enough to say India needs that. I would jump at it if they were.
It makes a lot of sense though. I mean, at least the concept makes a lot of sense.
One instance where I've seen it work magically is with Nandan Nilekani. Nandan Nilekani was the CEO and the guy in waiting. It was after Narayan Murthy, it's Nandan Nilekani. He wrote a beautiful letter to the rest of the team saying, look, this is something that I need to do and I'm taking it. When he got the shift to I think more people should do it. But if at some point of time that opens up, I have 2 kids. I can't jump in and say, look, I'll be based out of Delhi doing this. Correct. When they're either too young or in some critical things. This is a phase. If my personal life gives me a window and office gives me a breather, I would love to do something like that at some point. I'm not playing for that. But last time that window of opportunity opened up, it shut because I simply couldn't turn up. If it opens up next time and my circumstances are different, I'll apply for it. And in many ways, if that is a role, creating a framework from an academic point of view for primary, secondary education. I have a kick-ass CV for that. I've been doing that commercially for years. And I'm a subject matter person. I'm not a bureaucrat. And they want subject matter experts. And I have the CV to
Yeah, back it up.
Yeah. So I should have a shot.
It's more an education aspiration, not a political aspiration. Good to know that. I'm kind of relieved to know that. Anyway, we'll go to the fun segment. Okay, so this is a rapid fire in typical talk show style. Your answers have to be rapid, and the second condition is there has to be a lot of fire in your answers.
Okay.
Right. So very quick answers, very fiery answers.
Okay.
The more controversial you are, the more points you get. we'll get the YouTube community to give you points in the comments. Okay. So very quickly, cricket or football?
Football for playing, cricket for watching.
Okay. Favorite holiday destination?
Puducherry in good times.
Oh, okay.
Nearby, largely because I've been rather poor at booking holiday destinations.
Right.
So I just look.
Okay.
Scoot over.
Of course, you can't say London for this, but if you were to move and live in another country, which one would it be and why? You can't say London or
Europe, Scandinavia, Finland.
Okay, Finland.
The national monument of Finland is a library.
Nice.
I can hang there.
Nice, very nice.
And they decided, it's very interesting. And in Finland, I think they finished 150 years of their something, whatever democracy, whatever it was. And they sat down and thought, what should we do? What is uniquely us?
Yeah.
So we need public spaces where people can hang out.
Beautiful concept.
And we want our public spaces to be welcoming and us.
Yeah.
And they said welcoming and us means library.
Amazing.
And they started a ton of libraries again, all over again, more.
Amazing.
I had a fascination for Scandinavia,
right?
Specifically Finland.
Okay.
And the weather is a big blow.
Right.
It's just an idea, right?
Yeah. Big blow. It's not humid, right? It's cold. It's not really a big blow. Anyway. Okay. Favorite film heroine?
Favorite film. Oh my God.
This is it's increasing order of difficulty.
Right?
Simran is a
she's been there in lots of Tamil movies.
Okay.
And quite a few. I think a few Hindi movies.
Okay. Is there a Bollywood favorite heroine? Or you don't watch much?
I watch quite a few.
Okay.
In the current fair, I think Deepika Padukone or Katrina Kaif.
Okay.
One generation ahead would be Madhuri Dixit.
Okay. Great picks. One piece of advice you would give to a prime minister?
To our prime minister. This is controversial.
I told you it's an increasing order of difficulty.
Giving Gyan. But I think
he
should bend over backwards and be super more inclusive.
Okay.
Whereas I think everything else should be secondary. We should just embrace every Indian, left, right, and center, all the freaking time. Guys who talk to him should be stunned at how much he is all-encompassing, embracing. And I think that is I would follow that man to the ends of the world.
Yeah.
So it's one of my favorite quotes is by this guy called Sage Ramana Maharishi. Somebody asked him, so we're talking about people and the polarization and all that. So how do we treat other people? Somebody asked him. Then he looked at them and said, there is no other.
Right.
And that's a very powerful idea. And it's a fantasy.
Yeah.
But I would want RPM or current edition or any edition to be super encompassing of every Indian of all stripes all the time. That people don't know how to talk to.
Yeah. Just be an Indian, that's enough. That should be the requirement. Just for this answer, you get 10 on 10 for me at least. Anyway, if you were to swap lives with someone for a day, who would you choose and why?
Messi.
Okay. Nice.
Obviously.
Yeah, there's no why. Okay, what's your guilty pleasure?
Lots. I watch reasonable amounts of TV. I love playing football.
Right.
So I would grab every opportunity to go there and get in trouble frequently for that.
Okay.
Do that. I like reading.
Okay. Very safe answer. -2 for this. Anyway, okay. Now we're going to end with a Gen Z slang pop quiz, just to see how good are you at. I'm from the same generation as you. I'm amazing at this, by the way.
Okay.
So let's see how good are you at this. Okay. What's YOLO? Do you know what YOLO is?
I know. You only live once.
Yeah, perfect. Very nice. Okay, again, it's an increasing order of difficulty. I give you a simple one. What's FOMO?
FOMO, I know.
What
Fear of missing out.
Very nice.
I've had it on occasion. I've seen. I have kids, right? So.
Right. Oh, of course. I know where this is coming from. Okay. What's no cap?
NOCAP.
NO space cap. No cap. No cap.
Don't type in capital N.
No, it's not. Okay.
So what is it? You have to give me
So
the
no cap is basically no lies, right? So you state a fact.
Okay.
I might be wrong here, by the way.
Okay.
You state something and it's the fact. So you ended by saying no cap.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like you're a great teacher. No cap.
Okay.
Something like
This is not up for debate type thing.
something like that.
Period.
Yeah. No lies. It's a fact.
Okay.
Sort of stressing on that. Yeah. What's salty? Do you know what salty is? Of course, it's a slang. So salty is not, of course.
So salty is sour grape sea current. I mean.
No, salty is not that. I think salty is somebody who's irritable. A salty person. Somebody who's irritable and sort of like annoying. Do you know what Gucci is? I'm not talking about the brand. Slang.
GUCCI.
Yeah, Gucci.
No.
So Gucci is good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a Gen Z way of saying good. And finally,
why good is not good enough?
ask a Gen Z, I don't know. Finally, what is Riz? Do you know what Riz is?
I mean, how do you spell that?
RIZZ. Charm.
Okay.
Yeah, so if somebody's got Riz, they've got charm. Okay. There's one more rapid fire question. You have to choose one and strictly one. You can't get away with this, or all your marks go to 0. Choose one of these brands, only one of them. IIT Madras or IIM Bangalore?
IIT Madras.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Why not IIM Bangalore? Because you had a great time at IIM Bangalore.
I was humbled at IIT Madras. Right?
Okay.
So I have a fascination for what the place stands for.
Nice.
It is you'll get spade gets called a spade. They don't book nonsense. They don't stand fools. IIM Bangalore is the more MBA place, accommodating and rather nice and being correct and all that. IIT Madras is no hold part that the intellectual environment is tough, rigorous. Obviously there are pluses and minuses both places.
Yeah.
I have a lot of grudging admiration for IIT Madras. More love and affection for IIM Bangalore, the people in the place.
Okay.
But I'm going for grudging admiration.
Nice. One more question I'll add here. So you were invited to be a part of the panel for IIM Bangalore, right?
Yeah.
Of course, you couldn't take it up because of conflict of interest or whatever. But let's say if you're a part of the panel and you're sort of interviewing prospective MBA students, what would be your favorite question to ask them?
Oh my God, this is interesting. I don't know. My favorite question to ask someone who is looking to an MBA.
Yeah.
Not why MBA.
Yeah. That's
tell me
part of the
about
myth.
yourself, what are your strengths and weaknesses. Probably like.
Don't ask them a math question, Rajesh. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Not a math.
That's not a done thing. There's one thing that you would change about your life. What would?
Nice. Okay.
That you'll have to think and figure out and explain. Maybe it could be a meaningful discussion or a fun discussion. Something like that.
Okay. Nice. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.